Okay, you had section 13.4, numbers 3 through 48, multiples of 3. Okay, here we go. X to the second equals 6x minus 9. We need to solve using the quadratic formula. We need to get 0 on one side. I'm going to try and get the x squared to be a positive coefficient. So I'll move the 6x and the negative 9. Okay, so let's go. So now we have it in standard form. Okay, most of you should notice this one is factorable, but we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. A is 1, B is negative 6, C is 9. So negative B plus or minus radical B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Okay, this will produce our x values. All I gotta do is plug in the coefficients. So the opposite of negative 6 plus or minus negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9, all over 2 times 1. Okay, now we just calculate. 6 plus or minus 36 minus 36. Oh, that's nice. Over 2. That cancels. That's 0. So x equals 6 over 2, which is 3. We have only one solution. Going back here, if I were to use the factoring method, I would have 2 parentheses. X squared would give us x and x. We need a positive 9, minus 3 and minus 3. That'll give us a negative 6x in the middle. We only need to solve one of them because they're the same. So x equals 3, which is what we had here. Eventually, you're not going to be able to do the factoring method. Number 6. Three y to the second minus 7y plus 4 equals 0. A is 3, B is negative 7, C is 4. Plus or minus negative 7 squared minus 4AC all over 2A. 7 plus or minus 49 minus 12 times 4, 48 over 6. X equals 7 plus or minus square root of 1. Okay, so we can do that. Nice. Let's see. 7 plus or minus 1 over 6. So 7 plus 1 is 8 over 6. 7 minus 1 is 6 over 6. So we have 2 solutions, 4/3 and 1. If you look at what answers came up here, they're nice actually. That means this was factorable. 3y and y. 4 and 1. We need a negative sign in the middle. So that's a negative 4y. That'll give us a negative 3y. And if we solve each one separately, 3y minus 4 equals 0 and y minus 1 equals 0. So that's 1. And there's the 4/3. Yeah. Okay. Number 9. X to the second minus 9 equals 0. Yes, factorable, but we're going to use the quadratic formula just because that's what the direction says. Okay, so let's see. A is 1. B, there's no x term, so that's 0. C is negative 9. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. 0 plus or minus, the negatives cancel. This is 36 over 2. Okay, so we can disregard that. Positive and negative 6 over 2. So x equals positive and negative 3. Plus 3 and minus 3. See? Yeah, if we did it with the factor method, we would have got 3 and negative 3. Number 12. X to the second minus 4x minus 7 equals 0. No, this one is not factorable. So we got to use the quadratic formula. A is 1, B is negative 4, C is negative 7. Negative B, opposite of B, plus or minus radical B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. 4 plus or minus 16. The negatives here cancel, so plus 28. 2. 4 plus or minus radical, what is it? 44? Yes, we can simplify the radical. That would be 4 plus or minus, let's see, 4 and 11. So 2 radical 11. The denominator applies to both terms. So in a sense, it's 4 over 2 plus or minus 2 radical 11 over 2. They both share the same denominator. And I just simplify. So that would be 2 plus or minus radical 11. That's your solution. Those are the values of x. And you can tell now, yeah. I mean, if you write it separate, 2 plus radical 11 and 2 minus radical 11. Those are your two solutions. Yeah, that's the shorthand. And you can tell now that that wasn't factorable. You don't get a nice rational number. Number 15. X to the second plus 4x plus 4 equals 7. We need to get a standard form. So we need a 0 inside. I'm going to get rid of the 7. A is 1. B is 4. C is negative 3. Negative B plus or minus radical B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. So negative 4 plus or minus 16, the negatives cancel, so plus 12 over 2. Negative 4 plus or minus radical 28 over 2. The 28 can be simplified. 4 and 7. So negative 4 plus or minus. The square root of 4 is 2. So 2 radical 7 over 2. And the denominators apply to both terms. So negative 4 over 2 is negative 2 plus or minus. The 2's here cancel. Radical 7. If you notice, this is factorable into two good binomial. Well, when I say good, it's like they're the same. X plus 2 and x plus 2. So instead of the factoring method, we could use the square root method. X plus 2 squared equals 7. If we square root both sides, we have x plus 2 equals positive negative radical 7. Now we just get rid of the 2. X equals negative 2 plus or minus radical 7, which is what we had there. Ex to the second minus 4x minus 2. A is 3, B is negative 4, C is negative 2. The opposite of negative 4 plus or minus square root negative 4 squared minus 4ac over 2a. 4 plus or minus 16, the negatives cancel, plus 24 over 6. 4 plus or minus square root of 40 over 6. The 40 can be factored, 4 and 10. I can square root the 4. So 4 plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 6. All the terms have a common factor of 3. It's easy to see if I split it up. So this denominator affects both terms. 4 over 6 plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 6. Now we simplify. This would be 2/3 plus or minus radical 10 over 6. Or if you want, oh, it's not 6, 3, sorry. 1/3. Yeah, so 1 radical 10 over 3. If I had gone from here, just divide everything by 2, that would have been 2 plus or minus radical 10 over 3. So either of these are fine. (21) 4y to the second minus 4y minus 1 equals 0. A is 4, b is negative 4, c is negative 1. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So 4 plus or minus square root of 16, the negatives cancel, so plus another 16, all over 8. 4 plus or minus radical 32 over 8. 32 can be factored. 16 and 2. I can square root the 16. 4 plus or minus 4 radical 2 over 8. All the terms have a 4 in common. So if I divide everything by 4, that would be 1 plus or minus 1 radical 2 over 2. Again, if it's easy to see, you split it up so that they have the same denominator. 4 plus or minus, 4 over 8 plus or minus 4 radical 2 over 8. And if you simplify, that's where you end up. That's your values of x, or y in this case, sorry. 24. Five x to the second minus 2x equals 0. A is 5, b is negative 2, c is 0. There's no constant term at the end. Negative, opposite of negative 2, plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared is 4, minus 0, all over 10. 2 plus or minus radical 4 over 10. 2 plus or minus 2 over 10. Okay, so this one will come out rational. 2 plus 2 is 4 over 10. 2 minus 2 is 0 over 10. So our two solutions are 2/5 and 0. Number 27. 4x to the second equals 100. Okay, so we need to get this in standard form first. Get a 0 on one side. Okay, a is 4. B, there's no x term, x squared, but not x. So the 0. C, negative 100. negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. 0 plus or minus 0. The negatives here cancel, so that would be plus 1,600 all over 8. So 0 plus or minus radical 1,600 over 8. The square root of that is 40. So positive and negative 40 over 8. Positive and negative 5. Number 30. 2x to the second plus 3x equals 1. We need to get it in standard form. It's 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals 0. A is 2, b is 3, c is negative 1. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Nine, the negatives cancel, so plus 8 over 4. Negative 3 plus or minus radical 17 over 4. Can't simplify the radical. This is as far as you can go. That one was easy. Number 30. Oh, sorry, 33. 3p to the second plus 2p equals 3. Ooh. Get a 0 on one side, so subtract 3. We're going to go for standard form. 3p squared plus 2p minus 3 equals 0. A is 3, b is 2, c is negative 3. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative 2 plus or minus 4 plus 36 over 6. Negative 2 plus or minus radical 40 over 6. We can simplify the radical. That's 4 and 10. So now we have negative 2 plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 6. Each of the terms have 2 in common. So negative 1 plus or minus radical 10 over 3. X to the second plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. The directions say solve using quadratic formula, approximate solutions to the nearest 10. So we're not going to leave anything in radical form now. We're actually going to solve it up. Okay, so let's see. It's already in standard form. A is 1, b is 2, c is negative 2. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative 2 plus or minus 4 plus 8 over 2. Negative 2 plus or minus radical 12 over 2. Now, I would normally tell you to simplify the radical, but we're going for the decimal anyway, so no sense. Let's see. Negative 2 plus or minus. We need the square root of 12. The square root of 12 is 3.4641. I'll just go with that, and then we'll round after. Over 2. Okay, so we'll do them separately. Negative 2 plus 3.4641 over 2, and negative 2 minus 3.4641 over 2. So the first one, this is 0.7. It says round to the nearest tenth, so 0.7. The second one, 2.7. Oh, negative, sorry. Negative 2.7. Number 39. 39 says 4x to the second plus 4x equals 1. I'm going to get standard form. So 4x squared plus 4x minus 1 equals 0. A is 4, B is 4, C is negative 1. Negative B plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative 4 plus or minus 16 plus 16 over 8. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 32 over 8. Okay, we'll go for the decimal. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 32 is 5.6569 over 8. Okay, so we'll split them up and we'll solve each one separately. Negative 4 plus 5.6569 over 8. Negative 4 minus 5.6569 over 8. Okay, so the first one, minus 4 divided by 8, 0.2. We'll do it again for the second. Square root of 32, and the 4 is 9.6569, and then divided by 8, 1.2. Number 42. 3x to the second minus 8x plus 2 equals 0. A is 3, B is negative 8, C is 2. Opposite of negative 8 plus or minus negative 8 squared minus 4ac over 2a. Plus or minus 64 minus 24 over 6. 8 plus or minus square root of 40 over 6. Okay, so let's see, square root of 40. The square root of 40. Okay, I'll go 4 digits again. 6.3246. So 8 plus or minus 6.3246 over 6. Okay, so I will separate them into two different problems. 8 plus 6.3246 over 6. 8 minus 6.3246 over 6. So we'll do the first one. Plus 8 divided by 6. 2.4. Okay, we'll do it again. 8 minus 6.3246 divided by 6, 0.3. Number 45. 45 says x to the second plus 8x plus 16 equals 5. Get it in standard form. So x squared plus 8x plus 11. A is 1, B is 8, C is 11. Negative 8 plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. (64 minus 44 over 2) plus or minus the square root of 20 over 2. The square root of 20. Square root of 20. I'm going to go 4 digits again. 4.4721. All over 2. So I'll split it up. Negative 4 plus 4.4721 over 2. Negative 8 minus 4.4721 over 2. Okay, and we'll solve each one separate. Minus 8 divided by 2. 1.8 negative. Negative 6.2. Last one, number 48. Three x to the second plus 12x plus 8 equals 0. A is 3, B is 12, C is 8. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Negative 12 plus or minus 144 minus 96 over 6. Negative 12 plus or minus radical 48 over 6. Okay. Let's see. The square root of 48. Okay. So negative 12 plus 6.9282 over 6 and negative 12 minus 6.9282 over 6. Let's see. Divided by 6, 0.8. Do it for the second one. (3.2) negative. Okay, hope that helped. See you in the next one.